If you're a high volume shooter, maybe you're shooting a bunch of steel matches, maybe you're just doing a lot of practice with your 9mm, and you want to hit the target without hurting your wallet, you want to check out this Berry's bullet. We're going to run this bullet, 124 grain, round nose, hollow base, thick plate, through several different tests. We're going to take a look at it for accuracy from the ransom rest. We're going to run it by the chronograph and see how fast we've got it going with 2 different powders and what sort of results we get on that. We're also going to take it out and shoot some steel targets. I'll get some general shooting impressions of the ammo and the gun that we used for this test. We're also going to get some lab data. Check it out in this video. Guy Miner here from UltimateReloader.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of Berry's bullets, which should be really good for practice. We'll find out. It is a .356 inch for your 9mm. It's a plated bullet, has a round nose, has a hollow base, and it is that plated stuff instead of a full metal jacket like you might be used to running. These things are an alternative to either lead or jacketed bullets. They tend to be priced quite well, particularly if you buy them in quantity. Should feed through most anything, most any semi-automatic 9mm out there, and they're available in 250 or 1,000 quantity. Now this is one of Berry's plated bullets. Key considerations for that could include some velocity limits, it could include where you're going to get your load data, and what kind of a crimp you ought to apply. Your velocity limits on this one are high, 1,500 feet per second, because it's their thick plate bullet. So that's extra thick, it'll be stronger, it can handle a high velocity. Load data, any jacketed or cast load data is fine. Lead bullets, jacketed bullets, and some places are starting to publish data for Berry's bullets specifically. Use a taper crimp on these. Don't break the plating. Don't break the plating, it won't work as well. Advantages of this Berry's bullet is that it is less expensive than some of the other alternatives out there. I found them priced down to about 9 cents a bullet as opposed to down to about 14 cents for most of the competing bullets that are also available. About a nickel a bullet less. That makes your hand loading less expensive, and that adds up if you're doing large volumes of hand loading. It's in the middle of the weight class. It's 124 grain bullet, so you're not messing around with either the ultra light bullets that may have actually been intended for a 380 nor are you messing around with the 147 grain bullets that are probably best suited to a subsonic roll. This is right there in the middle. It feeds well in most 9mm because of that rounded shape. And the hollow base has been around a long time. It might help your accuracy. So we wanted to get some scientific measurements on these Berry's bullets. Kyle took them and he weighed them, and he also measured them, both diameter and for overall length. Very interesting results. Remember that this is a budget plated pistol bullet, all right? And we got some good results there, very good on the weight. I'm happy with that. We're looking less than half a grain extreme spread. Diameter, to me, is probably the most critical of these, because if you've got an over or undersized bullet, you're going to have accuracy problems. And the oversized bullets, if it's too big, you can run into some serious pressure issues with your hand loads. What I'd like to note here is particularly the extreme spread down here. That is looking better than some premium rifle match bullets we've looked at. Very impressive, and especially when you consider this is a pistol bullet at a budget price. I was really impressed with the results that we got from this. So about our loads and our tests that we ran on these bullets, I selected a couple of pistol powders that I really like, CFE pistol and Ramshot Silhouette. Went with both of those for middle to maximum type 9mm loads. I didn't want any powder puff loads down there in the really weak category. We went through a chronograph test, went through ransom rest, accuracy testing, and we're going out and did some steel shooting on those evil steel rock chucks. We took these loads to the range, and I was able to use a Canic, which was very new to me, the TP9 SFX. It is quite a gun and very different from what I'm accustomed to shooting. Also, it was topped by a Vortex red dot sight, which I hadn't shot one on a pistol in, 15 years or so, I would imagine. So I had a lot of getting used to doing, and that may explain some of my marksmanship problems. I like to take my time and really learn a gun. And when we went to the range, I had this ammo to test, and I tested it. The pistol's pretty cool. It's got a lot of nice modern features. Full-size pistol, but it only weighs 29 ounces. So that's real pleasure. 18 rounds in the magazine, good stuff. It's got a decent trigger, I like that. And the back strap is configurable to match your hand. So this pistol has been on our channel before. Gavin ran it through the ransom rest and compared its results to that of a Glock 17. So when we tested our loads, we were also testing the accuracy, both the chronograph and the accuracy from the ransom rest at the same time. Let's go over the chronograph results first. First load up was actually at the bottom of our chart, Remington 124 grain full metal jacket. It came in at an impressive 1,181 feet per second with an ES of 45, and I was pleased with the 16 foot per second SD. That's pretty good for factory pistol ammo. It's nice seeing that Remington actually loads this up to where a 9mm 124 grain ought to be. 1,181 feet per second is not bad. We also tested the 5 grains of CFE pistol, which I sort of expected was going to be kind of a middle of the road or maybe down a little bit in its power. No, not really. 1,174 foot per second average. Tight ES of 23 and very tight SD of 8. Half of what Remington's factory ammo did. We're onto something here. We're doing something good. Combination of powder and these Berry's bullets produced some nice tight results. Went to the 5.8 grains of Silhouette, which I find is producing remarkable velocities in every pistol cartridge I've tried it in. 1,241 feet per second. That is not half bad with a 124 out of a 9mm. ES 24 and the SD of 9, which is almost identical to what we got out of the CFE pistol. Those two loads are quite close ballistically, and both of them were a little bit better than the Remington factory full metal jacket ammo. As we often find, we were able to hand load, saving money and getting better results. Not a bad thing to do. Now the ransom rest has been around for several decades. It's well proven, and what it does is it works to minimize the human influence. It's the pistol in the rest and the ammo coming out of the pistol, and we're measuring accuracy results. We only tested this at 15 yards, but it was indeed interesting. Remington I wound up with about a 2.53 inch 5-shot group. Okay. You know, there it is. And honestly, I may or may not have been contributed to this. So 2.53, not the most impressive group in the world, but that's what we got. We went to the Berry's with the 5 grains of CFE pistol, and we cut about a ½ an inch off of that group. Pretty nice, right out of the ransom rest. So a little bit tighter. And again, the 5.8 grains of Ramshot Silhouette also came in at 1.97, whereas the CFE pistol was 1.95. And I would bet if we kept shooting groups, they would go back and forth about which one was a little bit better. So they're really tight and for all purposes identical in the accuracy we got from the ransom rest. Both of them perform better than the Remington factory. So after the ransom rest, we piled everything in the 4-wheel drives and we headed up to the ridge top and over the top and found our evil rock chuck steel targets. That was a lot of fun, and take a look at what we did. All right, we had the Canic out there in the ransom rest testing 3 different loads. Remington 124 grain full metal jacket factory stuff, and then we used Berry's bullets, a thick plate bullet so it can handle high velocity. Our loads were getting up around 1,200 feet per second with especially the Ramshot Silhouette powder, and then also with the CFE pistol, and both of them were pretty doggone good. Nice tight SDs. Now, let's go have some fun and shoot some of those pesky rock chucks, the steel ones. That's it. Big guy gets away free. That was fun. This pistol's got a heck of a lot of potential. I really like this Canic. I need to get used to it, and especially need to do some more work with a red dot sight. So that'll be kind of cool. Give me something to do here for the summer. Okay, so I ran through that course a couple times, and I came away with some good impressions of the pistol, the optics, and the load. And what I figured out was that these are very useful full power loads. It feels just as strong as any 9mm load I've ever shot. It has, however, rather low recoil, and I like that. I think that it may have a lot to do with the design of the Canic. Not sure, but it's a full-size pistol and it seemed to feel really good. It didn't beat me up with the recoil whatsoever. It was a lot of fun to shoot. You're up there in a beautiful mountain environment. There's steel rock chucks all over the place. Just having fun at them. That was a good way to go. The pistol did great. The ammo did great. Lots of fun. I can see this being a useful combination for all kinds of different practice. In conclusion, we set out to see if our hand loads could meet or beat factory ammunition and save us money. The short answer, yes. All right, and I like that. Let's take a look at some things. It duplicates popular factory ammo. That 124 grain in the upper 1100 feet per second, maybe 1200 feet per second that you find occasionally. It duplicates that kind of velocity, and it beats it with the spread. The SD and the ES much tighter than the factory ammo I often come across, although I tell you that Remington wasn't bad. I would recommend this for all 9mm pistols in good repair. This round nose bullet and then the taper crimp that we applied on those Lyman dies, that made some very, very good feeding ammunition. We had 0 malfunctions and probably went through well over 100 rounds yesterday. It was a good time. These are economical. They are an economical practice load. I don't shoot very many matches. My speed steel matches was 1. I may get into doing that some more, but I actually do a fair bit of shooting for self-defense practice, and there have been times in my life when I burned through a lot of ammo doing that. The more you shoot, the more it pays off to have the ammo that's a little bit less expensive per round. That adds up. This stuff would be very easy to load on progressive press. I loaded it on the Lyman turret press, but it would work great on a progressive press. Is it accurate enough for my practice? Yes. Is it accurate enough for the steel shooters out there? I don't know. I can't speak to that too much because I'm not really a steel shooter. What do you think? Drop a comment and let's have a discussion. That means it's time to wrap this up.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you want to learn lucrative gunsmithing like what I show here on the channel, including building custom rifles and Cerakote plus a whole bunch more, you're going to want to check out the Colorado School of Trades, schooloftrades.edu. Thanks again for watching.